Welcome to today's class. It's class 8, chapter 11, the pool. Have you ever experienced swimming or bathing in a pool? The pool that is not made by human but nature. A pool in the midst of a forest. Have you ever bathed in any of the waterfalls? I mean any mini waterfalls. Such a wonderful experience that you will never forget. We are going to learn such a story or an incident of the author Ruskin born, how he and his friends celebrated their boyhood, their childhood, by playing, swimming, bathing and wandering in the forest, lake, pool, etc. So, as I said, this is the story written by Ruskin born. I hope all of you are familiar with the author Ruskin born because we have already learned it in the previous classes, the previous years. But again, let me introduce who is Ruskin born. He is an Indian British author. We can see in most of his stories or writings the vivid picture of the actual portrait of Indian villages, Indian forest. He is so much attracted towards our village life, our Indianism, the so-called Indianism can be seen in his short stories. So, this chapter 11 of the literature reader, The Pool, is a beautiful story, beautiful description of their boyhood. I hope nowadays you are missing such a days, wandering with the friends, playing in the ground, going to the river for fishing, swimming, etc. You terribly miss, maybe due to lockdown or due to dangerous situations or dangerous news that we hear each day. Let us move to the chapter in detail. Page number 88, chapter 11, the pool. It was going to rain. I could see the rain moving across the Himalayan foothills. So now you understood where the story is taking place. Is in the premises of the surrounding of Himalayas. I could smell it in the air, but instead of turning homewards, I pushed my way forward through the leaves and brambles that grew across the forest path. I had heard the sound of rushing water at the bottom of the hill. So now we understood what's the weather condition, where is the place, and what they are going to do. I had to slide down a rock face into a small ravine, and there I found the stream running over a bed of shingle. I removed my sandals and started walking upstream. Water trickled down from the hillside, from amongst the fence and grasses and wildflowers. The hills, rising steeply on either side, kept the ravine in the shadow. The rocks were smooth, almost soft. Some of them were grey and some yellow. A small waterfall came down the rocks and formed a deep, round pool of apple green water. I hope all of you imagine such a wonderful picture of the nature where the Ruskin born, the author, have found out. So what do you understand? He was searching for a place, he was searching for a natural pool to play with his friends. Usually, his friends will call him and he will follow them. They will choose a place to play and he will follow what they are saying and what they are doing. But this time, he was there to choose or search a place where they have to play. So, he is going to become the leader and others will follow him. When I saw the pool, moving to the next paragraph, when I saw the pool, I turned and ran home because I wanted to tell the others. It began to rain, but I didn't stop to take shelter. I ran all the way home. I had two close friends, Anil and Somi. Anil lived in a crowded lane of Dilharam Bazaar, Dehradun. He was wild and a little dangerous subject to sudden changes of moods and impulses. Somi, on the other hand, was sensitive and gentle in his ways, but in common with Anil, he had a sense of fun and instinct for adventure. And though I studied in a class higher than theirs, they usually choose the adventures we were to have, and I would just grumble and get involved unwillingly. But the pool was my own discovery, and I was proud of it. So, as I said earlier, all that have selected the pool where they have to spend some time celebrating their friendship, boyhood, and childhood. Anil and Somi followed him. We will call it Rusty's pool, said Somi. Anil, remember, it's a secret pool, no one else must know. They three together discussed and decided that we should not be revealed to anybody because they don't like others disturb them. They have to there alone. I think it was the pool that brought us together more than anything else. Somi was the best swimmer. He dived off logs and went gliding about under the water like a graceful golden fish. Anil had long legs and arms, and he thrashed about with much vigor but little skill. I could dive off a rock too, but I usually landed on my stomach. At least some of you have experienced swimming in river, jumping or diving into the river. Some divings will be failure and some will be enjoyable. In both cases, we will repeat. There were silverfish in the stream. At first, we tried catching them with a line, but they soon learned the art of taking the bait without being caught on the hook. Next, we procured a bed sheet and stretched it across one end of the stream, but the fish wouldn't come anywhere near it. Eventually, Anil, without telling us, brought a long stick of gunpowder. Somi and I were startled out of an afternoon siesta by a flash across the water and deafening explosion. Half the hillside tumbled into the pool and Anil along with it, but we got him out, along with a good supply of stunned fish. At last, they succeeded in fishing, and the idea is clearly explained in the above paragraph. I hope all of you understood. The effects of the explosion gave Anil another idea, and that was to enlarge our pool by building a dam across one end. Then he accomplished with our combined labor. But he had chosen the monsoon season, and one day a torrent of water came rushing down the bed of stream, bursting the dam and flooding the ravine. Our clothes were carried away by the current, and we had to wait till night before creeping home to the darkest byways. So we was spotted at a street corner, but he simulated the stance of a naked sadhu and began calling for the arms. He finally slipped in through the back door of his house without being recognized. So while building the dam or playing in the water, since it was a monsoon season, a torrent, a heavy and strong current was there on the way and it had taken their clothes. So nakedly they have reached their home. So that's the incident explained in the above paragraph. Moving to the next paragraph, our other activities included wrestling and buffalo riding. We wrestled on a strip of sand that ran beside the stream. I hope you also have tried this with your siblings at home, wrestling. And ordered a couple of buffaloes that sometimes came to drink and wallow in the more muddy parts. You know the nature of buffaloes. They have to rest. They spend most of their time in water and in mud because they need such a cool atmosphere for their survival. So the buffaloes were resting beside or premises of the pool. We would sit astride the buffaloes and kick and yell and urge them forward. But on no occasion could we get them to move. And thus they would roll over their backs, taking us with them into a pool of slush. Of course, it didn't matter how muddy we got, because we had only to dive into the pool to get rid of it all. If it was possible to get out of our houses undetected at night, we would come to the pool and bathe by moonlight. Such a wonderful image. Just imagine in your mind. At night, without getting permission, without knowing their parents, they could go to the pool and they will bathe in the wonderful shadow of moon. How lucky they are. Have you experienced? No, I think no, never. It's dangerous too. Please don't try to do that. We would come to pool and bathe by moonlight. We bathed silently because the stillness of the surrounding jungle seemed to discourage high spirits. But sometimes so we would sing and we would float a long-fingered poinsettias down the stream. I don't remember how we broke up because we hardly noticed it at that time. We never really believed that we were finally parting or that we were leaving the pool. After about a year, Swami passed his matriculation and entered the military academy. Matriculation means just as our SSLC or plus 2, they have finished their schooling. When I saw him a year ago, he sported a fierce and very military mustache. Shortly after Swami left, Anil and his family left out. I haven't seen him again. I can't visualize him in any conventional occupation as he was so wild and unpredictable. And yet, sometimes I wonder, those who are wild when young often grow up to be responsible citizens. So that's a wonderful thought that author is transmitting to us. If you are so much wild or naughty in childhood, you will be one of the best citizens, responsible citizens in the future. And what of the pool? I visited it last week after an interval of 4 years. At first, I couldn't find it. I found the ravine, but bed of shingle, but there was no water. The stream had changed its course just as we had changed ours. I turned away in disappointment and with a dull ache in my heart. It was cruel of the pool to disappear, but I hadn't gone far when I heard the sound of rushing water, but the shouting of boys and pushing my way through the jungle. I found another stream and another pool, and half a dozen boys splashing about in the water. The pool where they have played is missing, but on the way back, he had found another pool and there were other children playing. So celebration of childhood is repeating. They did not see me, but I kept in the shadow of the trees and watched them play, but I didn't really see them. I was seeing Somi and Anil and the lazy old buffaloes. I stood there for nearly an hour like a spirit, roaming again in the shallows of a sacred pool. So though he has seen them, but he has seen not the children, but his childhood. He has seen Anil, Somi and buffaloes. He has recollected the good old memories. He was cherishing the memories of his boyhood. The pool reminded his childhood, his boyhood. So I hope all of you will have such icons to remember your childhood. Maybe friend's house, school, classroom, anything, an icon that that cherishes or recalls your childhood. I hope all of you have enjoyed the chapter. Read, learn and enjoy. Read the chapter once again and find out the question answers from the blog given below. Thank you. Have a nice day.